Hi guys, it's Andy from Nismotech UK. We're having a look at the Enermax ETS-T40 white cluster side blowing CPU cooler. Now as we look at the front of the box, you've got an image of the actual cooler along with the fan, the individual sockets that it supports for the Intel and the AMD motherboards, along with a couple of images with regards to the features that this cooler has. Just moving it around to the side, and we can see the individual specifications of the actual cooler. So the dimensions of the actual heatsink are 139 by 70 by 160. So with it being 160 millimeters high, it may not fit in some of the cases that are out there on the market, so just be very much aware of this. Now it does feature 4 6mm copper heat pipes and also aluminium fins on the actual heatsink itself. The fan that comes with this cooler is the White Cluster Advance. Now this can actually be controlled to run from 800 RPM and also be limited to a top speed of 1500 RPM, 1800 RPM or 2200 RPM. The noise ranges from around 17.3 dBA all the way up to 31.2 dBA, and it has a 4-pin PWM connector. On this side of the box you've got information in foreign languages, and on this side of the box you have the package contents, which specifies the brackets, the screws, the washers, the nuts, everything that basically comes inside the actual box. Now onto this side here. Now I just want to touch quickly onto a couple of the features that this cooler has, and we'll go into more depth with them a little bit later in the review. The first is the thermal conductive coating. Now obviously, as you can see from the cooler, it is completely white. The coating that they use basically increases or gives better velocity for thermal transferring in order to prevent the oxidation on the actual surface. It also features a VGF, which is a vortex generated flow. This increases the air convection in between the actual fins. It also features an SEF, which is a stack effect, to enhance the heat transferring from the bottom of the cooler all the way up, and a VEF, which is the vacuum effect, to optimize the airflow inside the actual cooler. Obviously the heat pipes themselves obviously come completely into contact with the CPU cooler, as they do on the majority of coolers. The fan itself features a smart APS, which is an adjustable peak speed. As I already mentioned, the various different peak speeds: 1500 RPM, 1800 RPM and 2200 RPM. There is an option to install a second fan, which I'll come to in a moment. The cooler also comes with anti-vibration rubbers, which are used to prevent fan vibration and to also absorb the noise. These are extra. You don't have to have them, but obviously if you do, then obviously you're going to benefit with regards to the noise. Also included in the pack is some high thermal conductive grease. As I turn that back to the front, we also have the White Cluster Advance fan in for review as well, which is the fan that features on this cooler. So in a test review, when we look at this in a bit more detail into how it performs, we will be sticking this fan onto the other side in a push-pull configuration to see the type of effect that has on the heat. So let's have a look on the inside of the box and see what we get. The cooler, which we'll come on to in a moment, and the bag of screws, brackets and instruction manual. So let's have a look and see what we get inside here. The instruction manual, which we'll look at in a moment. The universal backplate, a bag of screws, nuts and the thermal grease, 2 additional fan clips for using the cooler in a push-pull configuration, some more screws for the LGA 2011, Okay, and a nice looking spanner to tighten everything up with. So obviously these are the Intel brackets and also the AMD brackets and the cross plate that goes across the cooler to connect everything together. So if we were setting this up in Intel, you'd put it on something along these sort of lines, connecting it up there, turn that to the side, stick the cooler on, stick the bracket through the middle, and it would connect in like that. So let's move that to one side and take a closer look at the cooler. Now the fan itself clips off quite easily and obviously clips on, so I say that. Here we go. So let's just take that off and come to the actual fan in a moment. So this is the cooler. Have a look all the way around. Like I said, I will come on to the features of this in a moment. And the top showing the Enermax logo and the individual features of the actual cooler. The bottom of the plate shows the copper heat sinks that are obviously in direct contact with the CPU cooler, with the CPU, sorry. So we'll just put that back there and have another look at this fan. Just take these clips off. As I mentioned, this is the white cluster advanced fan. There is a switch here to switch the LEDs on and off, and it does feature the Enermax logo on the outside rim, which is something that I really like. So we'll come on to the fan, obviously, in the review that we do with the actual advanced cluster. Okay, so let's have a closer look at the actual heatsink and the features that this heatsink has. So the first one we're going to look at is the vortex generator flow, which are these little things here. They're basically little spoilers that run alongside the actual the actual heat pipes. They run all the way down on the inside, and basically what they do, they sort of conduct the heat to the back of the actual heat pipe in order to let fresh air come in a lot quicker and obviously get rid of the actual heat. The next one is the stack effect flow. Now with this, obviously as the air is coming straight into the actual cooler, it sort of lifts it up out the back. So again, it just basically lifts the heat away a lot quicker. And the final one is the vacuum effect flow. Some coolers have got the ends completely closed up. Enermax have left these actually open so that the actual vacuum again brings more cold air into the actual cooler, and obviously helps with the heat coming off. The bottom of the actual plate, nothing particularly new on there. See, the heat pipes touch the actual CPU cooler. They're the main features, obviously, apart from the actual coating, which, looking around the actual cooler, the coating has actually been applied extremely well, and it gives a real nice finish to this. It's not rough, it's quite smooth, so very impressive indeed. So what we're going to do is just quickly connect this up to our power supply unit. We're going to have a look to see what the fan looks like on this. So give me a moment while I set that up. Okay, so we've now got the cooler connected up to our PSU, so we'll just switch that on, and you can see the 4 white LEDs from the white cluster fan. The switch to turn this on, the LEDs off, is here, so you can turn that straight off, and we can then have a look around at the side profile with the Enermax logo on the side of the fan. And there we go. Now, as I've already mentioned, we will be doing a series of tests with this cooler alongside a few others that we've got in for review to give you guys an indication as to how well this actually performs. So make sure that you keep an eye out for that review when it becomes available. So as a summary for this cooler from Enermax, the ETS-T40 white cluster, in my opinion, it looks absolutely amazing. There are only a handful of white coolers, pure white coolers, on the market at the moment. This cooler will not look out of place in the majority of system builds, especially if you're looking to do a black and white themed build. So a big thumbs up to Enermax for creating this cooler, and it looks, like I said already, absolutely fantastic. Hopefully it will perform as good as it looks, so make sure you watch out for our review on its performance, especially when we pair it up against other coolers from different manufacturers. We hope you liked our video review. Please feel free to add any comments or ask any questions down below, and don't forget to hit that thumb button to show support to our channel. Full details and specifications on this item, along with a written review, can be found on our website nismotech.com, along with the links to where this product is available for you to purchase if you wish. Also on our website you will find our latest reviews and the all-important giveaways that are active at the moment, and we look forward to seeing you in our next review.